101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. Quarter away from 10 o'clock. Look at that. Very nice. The bright, shiny faces over there. And they don't belong to Michael Burdick.
No.
But he is here in the studio with us. Your face is bright and smiling over there. Well, why not? It's good to have you in the studio with us, Indiana Senior High, and you've got a group of young ladies with you. Our visit this morning is presented by Marcus & Mack, voted Best Law Firm and Best Personal Injury Lawyer 4 years in a row in the Best of Indiana County contest. Visit them online at marcusandmack.com. There's a number of different ways I can approach this, Mr. Burdick, and I think the best way is to say, hey, what's up? Because you've got some wonderful things for us today.
Yeah, thank you, Todd. So I'm here representing our Student Government Association, in which I serve as the advisor. And with me today, we have our president, Gianna Boyer, our vice president, Addison Porter, and our treasurer, Lelisi Allison, and they're going to be telling you about everything that they did to raise money for the Teddy Bear Fund Drive.
Yeah, nice. All right, so let's meet them all. And for our Facebook viewers, you can all wave to Facebook there. And tell our viewers who's who, because that will probably be very helpful.
Okay, my name is Gianna Boyer, and I'm the president.
Hi, I'm Addie Porter, and I'm the vice president.
Hi, I'm Lelisi Allison, and I'm the treasurer.
All right, so let's talk about the Teddy Bear Fund Drive and what you all did at Indiana High. I know you put a lot into it. There's a lot of work that goes into it. A lot of fun, too, though, right?
Oh, definitely. We definitely had a lot of fun this year raising money.
Terrific. So tell me about some of the activities.
Sure. Okay, so first off, we had two of our sophomore girls. We had Laura Kepich and Finley Stewart, and they had a spike ball tournament to raise money for the Teddy Bear Fund Drive, and we raised $94 from that. So it was during our 10th period, and we had kids come down in pairs, and it was a lot of fun all around.
Mm-hmm. Spike ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've watched that on ESPN. It's a cool game.
Oh, yeah, it is fun. It's all the rage right now.
Yeah. What else?
And then for our annual popcorn and cotton candy sales, we made $529.83. That's really fun. We do it for 2 weeks before the break, and we just get to sell popcorn and cotton candy for $1 each.
Mm-hmm.
And usually we make a lot of money from that, so that was really fun this year.
Popcorn and cotton candy.
Mm-hmm.
Which is more popular?
The probably the popcorn,
It's
honestly.
It's easier to just make and crank out. So I think it's more.
The cotton
fun.
candy had to have a little bit of skill with it.
Our popcorn machine was also broken, so we had to order a new one. So we didn't get that until maybe 3 or 4 days before break.
And we were still able to raise this much money. So IHS students definitely like their popcorn.
They
do. And then our next one was donations from businesses. We went out for SGA for a soliciting day, and then we were able to go around to businesses. You probably saw us walking around in our professional clothing. We were able to go around Indiana and just ask businesses for donations towards Teddy Bear Fund Drive and just let them know about it. Yeah. And for that one, we raised $530.
Wow, that's terrific.
So we definitely have some generous businesses in the area.
Yeah. And I remember that day because as you were walking by, everybody was waving as they walked by the window. I appreciated it.
Yeah.
That was very nice.
Okay. Next, our Commons Cafe. So we have a cafe in the high school that our special education and life skills students help run. Mm-hmm. And they do competitions. I believe it's between teachers or baristas, and whoever raises the most money, what was the prize for that?
I don't know exactly the prize for that one.
I think it was just whoever raised the most money.
Yeah, definitely bragging.
Yeah, definitely.
Competitive schools.
So we raised $908 from that.
908. Mr. Burdick is going to add to this here.
So we had one day where our guidance counselors were guest baristas, and then we had another day where the administrators were guest baristas, and it was whoever raised more money. And I was on the administrative side of things, and thankfully we beat the guidance counselors.
You wanted that.
So guest barista does not necessarily correlate to best barista. Is this what we're saying?
I would say that making coffee is actually pretty challenging.
It's a difficult thing?
It's pretty stressful. Yeah.
Well, you did the job. You won.
Yeah, especially when the customers are a bunch of teenagers. Yeah,
that's true.
They can get impatient, but you did great. You did a great job.
Is there a lot of sugar involved in that?
Oh, I think
it's purely sugar. Yes.
And enough milk that it's almost white.
Yeah.
That's my coffee.
And then we also did our raffle as well, where we had multiple different prizes from like businesses, even our school, like some clubs contributed as well. We made $1,324 from that, which was insane in my opinion. That was
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
people were definitely very generous whenever they were, picking raffle. I actually won one. It was really
you
cool.
did. And then she donated it to me. Actually, fine. And then our
Is
next.
that true?
Yeah, she did actually. She gave it to me, and it was a really good basket. It was pink. And then our next one was the Brighter Again Light Show. This was partnered with leadership at IHS. We were able to go to Magus Muffler and raise money for our mini-thon, which is an event that we do in March. We raise money for kids with pediatric cancer for the Four Diamonds Foundation, but SGA was able to collaborate and help with that this year. We were able to have 2 weekends of it, so half of the proceeds went to that, and then half of the proceeds went to us. And for that one, we raised $1,500.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. Because I remember the challenge of that. There was weather that weekend.
Yes, it was there. So we got cut down to basically 1 weekend, 3
It was
days.
3 days.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
supposed to have 6.
We
but
definitely
we were
had
still,
a lot of people come out the second
Yeah,
weekend, so
Yeah.
it
yeah,
was
a lot of
magical.
family and a lot of people just supporting, or like you would just drive past and see the lights. It was out by Haas's. You would see the lights, and the people coming in, they were like, we just saw the lights and we wanted to see what was going on, and they were like so generous. They donated.
Oh,
they were able
nice.
to buy from the concession stand, buy Christmas stuff, and yeah, just all for a good cause. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
very nice.
And shout out to Mr. McAdams for his
Yeah.
generosity. He is so generous whenever it came to giving stuff for leadership in SGA. So
Yeah. That's not the first year he's done that.
No.
no, this is the second year, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and then last we have our Teddy Bear Fun Drive Activity Day. So we do a variety show the morning before the last day of Christmas break. So we do we have teachers come out, they do music, we have kids put like together performances. It's all around just a super fun day. And kids can pay $5 to come and watch that. And then the rest of the day we just do like club stuff. Like I did volleyball. We had like an SGA like
Yeah.
party. Like it's just a fun day all around.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and I wanted to talk a little bit more about that one. This is
Yeah.
my spiel. I just like Teddy Bear Fun Drive Day is such a great day for IHS because it's not. I mean, schools are obviously like for learning. That's the foundation of it. But that day, it like shows the community of the school. You're able to have fun, like support a cause that's greater than yourself, and just like support something that. I mean, we might not like shed light on it all throughout the year, but during that time of like coming up to it, and then that day, that is the main focus. Everything that we do, we're raising money for is the Teddy Bear Fun Drive, but we're also able to have fun and just have a good like school atmosphere, school spirit while we do it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's like a fun reward after we do all that work.
It really
Yeah.
is. It's
Yeah.
my favorite day of the
it
year.
really is.
Same.
Yeah.
And from that, we raised $1,792.
Wow. So you keep
So-
throwing out these 1,000, 1,000.
Yeah. So our total was 7,000 with an extra donation from SGA just to make the numbers make them even for Mr. Burdick. But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Tremendous.
Here's that
Thank
check,
you.
yeah.
Thank you very much. They don't let me keep these things, so I'm going to hand this over to Mr. Burdick over there. And that is just a tremendous amount of money, and it's also a tremendous amount of spirit, as you've been talking. And when you're able to combine the fun of an event with what is really a serious event, because you're helping pediatric patients. Probably many of the students at IHS, they have had care either at Children's Hospital or at IRMC, and probably some pretty serious care. Just to see them rally in such a
Yeah.
way, that has to be a great feeling.
It is a
It
great
is,
feeling.
it
Yeah.
is.
Tremendous. All right. So that is a wonderful gift. $7,000 from Indiana Senior High. Wow. What a wonderful thing that it is. We appreciate so much everybody there. And I say this every year when you come in and you bring the donation in. I say this every year. Thanks to the secretaries, because the secretaries in the office, they end up doing a whole lot. And just in terms of organization, and I know that for many years they've done that. So thanks to everybody in the office. Thanks to the faculty for buying into this, and the staff, and most of all to the students for making this such a special thing. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing that you all do. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
All right. Sorry. No, gee, I sound like it's a downer.
No,
It's happy stuff.
It
sentimental.
is.
It's happy stuff,
is
and it's
great,
it's just a tremendous sign of how you are at Indiana High. We
Yeah.
appreciate that. Great community, great school, and you all do a great job too. Thanks so much for
Thank
coming
you so
in.
much.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for
for having
having
us.
us.
We appreciate it. Come on back anytime.
Yes. We'd love to.
You don't,
Thank
even,
you.
you don't even have to bring money. You can just come back anytime.
Just for our smiling faces. Yeah.
There you go. That works too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It is Indiana in the morning. It is WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com. We do so appreciate everything that the students do, that everybody at Indiana Area School District does in order to make such a generous donation to the Teddy Bear Fund Drive. It's 9:56 now, 4 minutes away from 10 o'clock. And coming up, we want to tell you, as they're taking some pictures here, so we're getting that done. Coming up at the top of the hour, it is Fox News, and then a brief look at news with Josh Widdison, and we will follow that up with the Brian Kilmeade Show. It's Indiana in the morning on WCCS, 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. AccuWeather says today, partly sunny and a high of 24 degrees. Then tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 5. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and a high 22. Friday, cloudy, 1 to 3 inches of snow in the daylight hours, then another inch at night on Friday with a high of 25, down to 0 that night. And mostly cloudy, flurry Saturday, 9. The high, the low Saturday night, -3. And Sunday, mostly cloudy, a high of 17 with a low of -1. So there you go. It is Indiana in the morning. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com. All right, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Great, great. You sound good too, so we are ready to roll.
All right.
All right, I just need to swing Mr. Computer over here in the other direction, and off we go.
All right.
It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. And we are on the line this morning with Julie Manano. The book is Secure Love, Create a Relationship That Lasts a Lifetime. Our visit is presented by Marcus & Mack, voted Best Law Firm and Best Personal Injury Lawyer 4 years in a row, and the Best of Indiana County contest. Visit them online at marcusandmack.com. Julie, good morning.
Good morning, Todd. Thanks for having me. It's lovely to be here.
Well, I'm very, very happy that you're here with us today because we got to talk. Secure love.
Yes, we do. Love everything, right?
Yeah. It seems to be a shortage these days around the neighborhoods, and we want to see if we can't fix that a little bit. Creating a relationship that lasts a lifetime is the subtitle of the book, but I think it's really instructive because what we're all about is how we relate to one another, not just in a romantic sense, but in the idea of a partnership between two humans, right?
Absolutely. You know, we all have the same basic relationship needs to feel emotionally safe and connected. Communication is the delivery system to get those needs met. And I always like to say, you know, I love this quote, underneath all the surface details of a relationship, all couples are ever really asking each other is, are you going to be there for me when I really need you? And so my work is about helping couples consistently answer that with yes, and that's secure love.
Yeah. All right. So in the book, Secure Love, you talk about stages and stages of a relationship. And sometimes we get stuck. And we're not quite sure how to move forward in the relationship. Unfortunately, the end result for a lot of people is they say, I don't know how to go about this. I don't know what I should do next. I'm just going to walk away. And that's not the way.
No, we don't always have to, walk away when we're confused. I like to make sense of why people get confused and help them understand. So relationships do move through stages, and each of these stages has has questions that need to be answered. And couples get stuck when they move too quickly through the stages without answering these questions as they go. The first stage is fairly easy. It's feeling it out. Do we want to spend more time together? And if that's a yes, we move into dating, and here we're going to say, well, do we have physical chemistry? Are we able to emotionally connect? Do our nervous systems, generally feel safe when we're with each other? And if that's all a yes, then we are ready to kind of move into that deeper commitment place where we start to ask more serious questions about compatibility and values. But here the most important piece is, and this is where a lot of people get stuck, is how are we working through conflict? Because this is the phase where conflict is going to come in, and are we able to have conversations in a way where we can still feel connected? And if we don't know how to do that, are we willing to learn together? And then, from there, we move into, well, do we want to make a long-term, a lifelong, for some people, commitment to each other? So if people are out there feeling stuck or confused about, where their relationship is going, the good question to ask is, what did each of these stages of our relationship need from us that we may have missed, and are we willing to have that difficult conversation now?
If we cannot connect and we have that broken line in our relationship with one another, is it possible, A, to repair or restore that line, and B, to then grow? Can we grow without that line being reconnected?
Can you ask that again? I'm not quite sure what you mean by the line being reconnected. Do you mean when you find yourself in a state of disconnection?
Yes, absolutely. When two people who are together and have been for a while, and there's a break in the relationship, there's something negative between the two of them, without restoring that, can the relationship repair and can it grow?
I don't believe that the relationship will ever thrive if couples, don't learn how to use vulnerability to avoid negative cycles and to repair. But here's the deal. Most couples do need to learn how to do that. They need to learn how to vulnerably communicate these skills aren't always intuitive, especially for people who didn't grow up in homes where they learn to talk directly about their emotional experiences and needs. And, when couples really start to get momentum on this, they can start to use their conflicts and their past conflicts and their past hurts actually as a way to bond. And instead of just pushing things under the rug and letting those wounds turn into disconnection, it sounds like, looking back and saying, my anger was my way of trying to bring attention to the problem because I just wanted so much to reach you. And I can see how that ended up leaving you feeling attacked. Or, I get defensive because I want so badly to be seen as worthy. And I can really see how that leaves you feeling invalidated and alone. And with these conversations, closeness can start to rebuild so much better than just trying to say, well, I'm sorry, let's move on. And, it's the access, the reliable access to closeness that is what creates security and heals and can ultimately heal past wounds.
Julie Manano is a therapist and an author and an educator. Julie, I'm a pastor, and I often meet with couples that are having those difficulties, and conversation and communication is such a big part of it. There's a point in the book, and I can't recall what the chapter is, but it's probably 2/3 of the way through the book, where I remember reading about healing conversations and how important they are in a relationship. Tell me about that.
Yes, healing conversations are very, very important because what happens is if couples have unrepaired wounds from the past, their nervous systems do have a hard time trusting that my needs are going to be met in the future. So 3 things that need to happen for those wounds to be healed is, 1, we need to figure out a way to change the relationship so these same wounds aren't being created over and over. A lot of times they're as simple as just repeated emotional abandonments. 2, couples need to learn how to communicate about these old wounds in a way that is connecting, in a way that's holding. One partner is able to kind of put their own stuff to the side and lean in and validate and understand. And if that doesn't happen, then the problem is that we're talking about these wounds in a way that just keeps re-triggering them and reopening them and sometimes re-wounding on top of the wound. So couples really need to learn how to have these very, specific and structured healing conversations for people who don't know how to do it. If they did know how to do it, they wouldn't have had these wounds build up to begin with. So the idea is to start healing, and it does take time. Change is one thing, but trusting that change will last is another thing. And sometimes we have to have repeated conversations about some of these wounds, and of course they need to be successful, in order for trust to start shifting over time. And then that mistrust stops showing up as negative cycles, and the couple just continue, growth begins to build upon growth.
Who's to say what is the cause of a specific relationship and the way that it breaks down? But there are opportunities that we have in our lives to restore and to start out anew on a relationship if both partners are willing to do that. And I would think something like Valentine's Day, which is here, and when we think about Valentine's Day, that would be one of those points where someone could honestly look at their relationship and what their goals are and what they might have been at the beginning, and really use it as a turning point. Is that not true?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, my work is just not about perfection at all. It's about learning how to learn from our past mistakes and even learn from what is going well and do more of that, and grow together. I always want partners, hey, let's grow together. I mean, I once had a couple say to me after we did some work on this, Julie, we still argue. It's just that we don't feel alone when we do anymore. And that's the real difference.
Yeah. There are a lot of people that have the idea that if I win, I win. But sometimes when you win, you end up losing in terms of the value of the relationship. The book is called Secure Love, Create a Relationship That Lasts a Lifetime. I'm sure that as folks have read the book and as you have spoken with people, you're getting some great reaction to it.
I have, and, it's been deeply humbling. I get to witness people just take brave and vulnerable risks, and often after years and years of being stuck and alone. So just being part of that moment for anyone is when it comes to getting hope back online, I mean, that never stops feeling like a privilege. And if you work with couples, you probably have the same experience.
On Instagram, it's you can follow Julie at The Secure Relationship, and your website too, Julie. Where do we learn more about you?
Yes, thesecurerelationship.com. That's kind of my one-stop shop for all the things I have to offer. I have books, I have workshops, I have a podcast. So you can just find me there.
Secure love, create a relationship that lasts a lifetime. Julie Menano, thank you so much for spending some time with us this morning on Indiana in the Morning.
You're welcome, Todd. Thank you so much for having me.
Have a wonderful day.
You too.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. Thank you, Julie.